Yeah. Well, there was a time in my life when I had the same opinion, but now I have the perspective that this is a world, this is worthwhile doing, especially if you don't believe in it, because you have the experience and the evidence. And if you do it and it doesn't work for you, you can say, I did it and it doesn't work for me. And if you try it and you actually get something out of it, you can be, oh, well, yeah, it's good. And look, ther- therapy is not worth the effort, but television is. Is that an intelligent decision? I
Mm.
think not. Right? Because surely those people who know themselves better make better decisions.
Mhm.
They make better decisions. Not only do they make better decisions for themselves, they make better decisions for the relationships that they're in. So, for example, if you take time to reflect on yourself and your choices, you can see what you need to navigate in your life. You can see what is going to work and what is not going to work and why things need to be the way they are. Not only managing your life, but managing your partner's life as well. If they don't have the self knowledge to do the same thing, it's a lot of work for you. People go to work to escape their lives. Why do people work 12 hours a day? Well, you can argue there are a number of different reasons. You could find someone who's very, very passionate about what they do and they love it and that they're really, really, really involved in it, and it's it's the desire and the goal for their life. Um, there are people like that. When what you say and what you do are in conflict with each other, something is not right. So when you are saying, or when you say, I really, really, really don't want to do this, but you do it, and not just once, because, I can think of regular examples every week where there's something that I really don't want to do. I clean the car, right? But, but, uh, you know, the, clean the toilet, all those cleaning jobs, right? There's things that we really don't want to do that we have to do. I understand that, but when that's your job and you're saying, I really, really, really don't want to do it, but you spend all day channeling your energy into it. And if you are a successful person, I mean, really successful, you you have to be somebody who gives themselves a choice. I mean, can you be really successful at your job and not be happy with your life? I don't think you can. I think the job is a mask. Yeah. So I don't think you can go to work and be fantastically successful and then come home and be unhappy, because you end up being some kind of schizophrenic personality. Like you end up being somebody different at work from who you are at home,
Mhm.
which is which never works. And that's a classic problem that a lot of teachers have. I know because my background is in teaching. So I know that a lot of teachers are different people in the classroom from who they are at home. And they feel that they have to be because um, it, teaching for them is a role, it's a performance. But the truth is, people see through the mask very quickly, and you have to be congruent. You have to be yourself as often as possible, and as much as you can in order to get any respect from any real respect from anybody, because otherwise you end up spending all your time managing yourself and worrying about who you are in which situation, and that just takes up so much time and energy that it doesn't work. So when somebody, look, I understand the waking up in the morning thinking, oh, do I really want to go and do this today? And there's a lot of that in life, but and that strikes me as somebody who's actually less successful. That would be it's the actions of someone who is less successful that gets up in the morning and has to do things they don't want to do. That's not success. It's like, oh, this person's a really successful businessman. Well, if you get up in the morning and you have to do a lot of things you don't want to do, that's kind of not really successful. That's just being a slave to the system that you're in. I mean, that's what work becomes if you are an elder gentleman and you're spending all of your time there when you have a home. I mean, I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying that work shouldn't be hard work, um, but it bothers me personally when people disconnect themselves and their family from the role and responsibilities that they have in work, because I think that you really have to be happy in life. You have to not be switching yourself on and off. You just have to be yourself. And if you have to walk into your office and switch on a certain kind of brain and then walk home and switch off, um, you you sort of can't be yourself. There needs to be some kind of consistency and switch it around. You know, the way to understand things is flip them. Okay, so this is what I mean by flipping, right? Sounds like a interesting word, right? So and it's used in teaching as well. The flipped classroom is when the students teach the teachers. It's really interesting. But flip any situation. So imagine that going to work is going home and going home is going to work, right? I mean, would you go to work and the moment you get to work, sit down and put on the TV and watch it? Would that be a constructive way to control and govern and manage your working habits? No, it wouldn't. So why why is he putting all his energy into something that essentially doesn't make him happy? Um, it brings him money. I understand that, and like money is some kind of security, and I get that. Money buys you a certain level of freedom, and I get that. But our very first topic of conversation today was health is wealth. And if you don't have health, and part of health is happiness, you spend all your wealth trying to manage your health, right? And that's what the big house is. That's what the nice car is. That's what the suit is. That's what the clothes are. This is an attempt. The reward of spending the money is a psychological attempt to manage the the mental, let's call it the mental stress that a person is under, because deep down inside in their on the edge of their consciousness, because you know it's there. Um, on the edge of the human consciousness is this knowledge that something's not working and something's not right. And deep further down, but still on the edge of consciousness, is the knowledge that it's me.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows it's me deep down inside. We all have that, and it's all that sort of eureka moment where and it's not something that happens once. It can happen like 20 times a day because we're all distracted and focused on other things. But we all have to, zoom back in and focus on it's me. And there's this idea that's perpetuated within culture and society that people should not be selfish. And I think it's completely wrong. Because the self, the you, is at the center of everything you do. And if we imagine a holistic experience growing from the middle out, the self is at the center of your universe. It's the center of your communication. It's the center of your relationships, your experiences. It's with you at all moments in time. And if you are not to a certain extent selfish, I don't mean taking things from other people for yourself or keeping things from other people for yourself, but I mean knowing yourself. That's the real form of selfish. It's actually knowing yourself. If you don't take time to know yourself, you can't get close to anybody else. And the feeling of coldness that exists within the relationship often is a result of the fact that somebody can't get close to somebody else because they can't even get close to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
your partner's there, but they're not there. Because it's not them, because the real them that you know is there somewhere is buried under um, years of paperwork, shall we say.
Yeah.
It's not your fault, and by that I mean it's not his fault, because um, we need a network of people around about us who are going to stop us from doing stupid things. And this network is partly family and partly friends. And there are other elements in there, random people that we meet can help us as well. Um, so we need good people around about us who are going to point out the fact that the decision that you're going to make is even worse than the last bad decision that you made. And we really need that, because too often our friends and family are too polite to tell us what they really think. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's great. Oh, that, the way that adults act towards children. They always go like, "Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, well done. Oh, that's so good." And it's like, "Oh, let's give children all this positive encouragement." And there's a place for positive encouragement, but only when it's truthful. Children instinctively know what is right, and they will read the situation as mother is not telling the truth to me.
Mhm.
And then they will not trust mother, and so will not ask mother the next time. Why
Mhm.
do my children not communicate with me? My
Mhm.
children are so non-communicative. Well, that might be because they know you, and there's a very good reason why they're not communicative, because they know what is going to happen, that the responses will be fake, they'll be false, they'll be superficial. And children don't have time for superficiality because there's so much reality to enjoy.